Hi, I'm Birdie Nickens. Welcome back to my channel. As you know, I help people become aware of the innermost selves, connect to the family, and adapt to the communities. Well, today it's probably going to be more of the one of innermost self. How we do in relationships, and what kinds of things that we should kind of be aware of when we are forming or developing relationships, or, you know, excuse me. um, that doesn't help, did it? It didn't help much at all. I didn't want to pin it because it looked even more stuffier pinned. But let's see, can we try to do something here? Okay, now, uh, what the thing that it comes to my mind mostly, if I take my glasses off, it's kind of hard to see my facial expressions, and I want them to be clear and not give out signals that are not intended. Um, but one of the things that comes to mind mostly in beginning developing relationships is sometimes people have asked me, what do you expect in a relationship? What are the things that you like, you know? And what I've learned about that is if you share with someone the things that you like, then those people can monitor or themselves and try to give you a picture of, the things that they know that you like, that can be used against you, because if a person is wishing to conceal something from you when they are trying to develop a relationship with you and they know what you like, then they can suppress those things that they have potentiality for. Well, I don't know if it's potentiality, the word is, but it's a potential, situation where some things that they do, habitually. Say, if they know that you don't like smoke, they might, spray their breath and not do cigarettes around you, so you may not even get to know that they smoke, you know what I'm saying? If they are alcoholics, people who love to drink or whatever, then they would probably, eat a mint or something, make sure the breath is clear of that alcoholism. And so I know it's not funny, but sometimes we don't think about these kinds of things when we're embarking upon a new relationship. And so, also, if you reveal things and tell them things, one of the things that people are not aware of, and this was most of my ministers and stuff and through my life have helped me with that, and that is that people can be just wonderful in 15 minutes. So if you are communicating with them on a limited basis, then they can show you the most wonderful side of themselves, the most beautiful side of themselves. You know what I'm saying? People have a tendency to hide things sometimes. Not saying all people are this way, but these are things that, most of us, will conceal things to appear to be better. That's just human nature. And so telling someone what you like can be an advantage and a disadvantage. The advantage could be like, that they really are sincere about not, or presenting that behavior in your presence, or in others' presence. There may be something that they say to themselves, this is what I like to work on. However, I would like to share with you that me, you, and everyone has to be sincerely honest about what they feel and what they do. And sometimes it hurts to be honest with ourselves. Sometimes it is painful to look deep within and see, what are you doing? Why are you doing this? Am I sincere in what I'm doing? Or do I have a hidden motive? And am I trying to conceal that from someone? We have to be honest. And that was one of the things I learned in early years of my life. And that's probably the reason why I'm pretty mostly transparent. But I also learned that discretion can be a beautiful modesty. It is something too. And it's just amazing all the things I love to learn. And it's like what I was saying about revealing what you like. And I will say this, because this one won't hurt any one of us, and I don't mind telling this. I love learning new things that can be easily understood. Oh, that turns me on to the utmost. I know some people like, what the, who the, who wants to know? But it's just the way that I am. That is one of my traits and abilities. And what I say, one of my loves, I love to learn new things that are helpful and that I can be easily comprehended. I love it with a passion. So if you see me marveling over some of the people on the Facebook, or some of the people on the YouTube, because they're sharing something that I think is marvelous and helpful for the community, helpful for the family, helpful for yourself, it's only because that is one of my deepest loves. And, so I don't see how revealing that about what I love could harm anybody. It could only help the bringer and the receiver. You know what I'm saying? I mean, forgive me for laughing, but I know some people probably say that is just so ridiculous. And a lot of times I am at a place where now I'm saying, hey, I don't need to know this, I don't need to know that about people's personal business and all that, especially if I'm not going to be doing frequent dealing with them. And, but I don't mind listening and sharing if I can, if it's something that's going to help a person, develop themselves to another level where they wish to be. Okay. And so that little part, what I have covered there, is things that can be concealed and things that are shared in the early stages of development. Remember also that 15 little minutes with someone once a week, or they can easily conceal stuff. Stuff is not always revealed in such a short period of time of communicating. And also, I would like to add to this that you can communicate with someone for a long time and still, on a more constant basis, and still not know who they are, because we are constantly learning and growing and developing. And you just have to be aware that a lot of times we really don't know ourselves. We are experimenting and developing each day. I think that we all will be, as long as we are in this earth realm. Um, Also, the things that, like in this uh, beginning or developing of relationships, there are different habits, like things that we don't really think about when we're developing. Sometimes we just go on the outward attraction. Oh, this person looks so fine. Oh man, I love their body sculpture, and oh, I love those muscles. Ugh. muscles. You know, that physique. You look, that waistline. Oh goodness, and that shape. This way and that way. Oh my goodness, they look so good, and excuse me, they may even sound good. Sound may be just so marvelous. And then, you may discover down the line that, oh, there are other behaviors that comes with this that are not easily seen when communicating with them, especially if it's in a distance way. There are things that I did not see. I mean, I had no idea that this person, could be so forward, they could be so rude, be so disrespectful, and maybe not so much to you, sometimes to others, and selfishness, sometimes not to make it, to just look at things that are unpleasant. I'm just saying, excuse me again, we have to be aware of whom we are dealing with, the person that we're dealing with. You know what I'm saying? Because, like if you're expecting one thing on one level and receiving another, that's going to be like something that could be a problem for the relationship. Like not knowing yourself, not saying to yourself, now, what do I envision as a wonderful mate for me? Do I like a maid who likes to clean stuff all the time? Well, some people don't do that. They got these little habits of laying stuff everywhere. And to be honest with you, that's one that I have had to work on and I'm still working on because, like all my times, I've always just liked to spend my time studying books and stuff and learning things, And I just figure that's a maid's job for real. You know what I'm saying? But all the time we cannot afford a maid. So, and then sometimes if you're not careful, people come and pick up your stuff. They may be working, but because I remember when my Grammy, my godmother, we call her Grammy, she would say to me, Betty, they come in here trying to take my washing powder and my dish liquid. And I was saying, Grammy, no. I said, that is utterly ridiculous. Excuse me for laughing, but that's pretty desperate to come take some, if you're a maid or assistant or aide or whatever, to take people's little stuff that they are managing in their house, because usually these are little privileges they've earned from their lifetime of working that is afforded to them through their health programs. And they're not, they're usually on fixed incomes and things. And that's somebody that's, maybe pretty selfish or unconscious of the things that they should be doing at someone else's place where they are invited to be a help, for them, whatever, a job, to have a job, a type of a job anyway. So, affording maids can be advantages and disadvantages, having them. So those are little things, you think about when you're with a mate. Is that mate, a person that doesn't know how to, and some people do, and most people can tell the ones that do because, in their appearances tell something too, because some people is pretty sloppy in their appearances, and that is a what some people would call a deal breaker. Well, I would just say it would be something that will maybe turn some people off. I mean, each his own, but you want someone who is neat. That's so helpful because to clean up behind yourself is a task, a daily task. And to have to clean up behind another person, that's going to be something that you might want to think about. And some people will just, well, I just don't want to be lonesome. I can't stand being lonesome. If you're one of those, a good thing to do is call one or two people that you know are positive folks. And if you don't do anything but tell them thank you for being here and share something as encouraging for to them, that can help make your day. I'm here to tell you. I've come a long ways, and I had some good days, and I've had some bad days. And I'm not trying to steal a man little song. I've had some good days. You know the song and everything. But there are times when we will have good days and bad days. But on all them days, I don't think we want to wake up trying to I think no I think I was on talking about calling people. I'm sorry, my thoughts run across each other sometimes. Calling people and encouraging them, the good people, you know what I'm saying, encouraging them. I mean, the positive folks, when I say the good people, a day, and it helps your day to be better, to be stronger. You can that gives you some encouragement, because it's always helpful to be helpful toward others. You know what I'm saying? And then, like, um, that was one. So far I've talked to you about sharing what you want in the beginning of the relationships, and now I'm saying when those times when you think that you have to be in a relationship with someone just because you're lonesome. Sometimes there are little things you can do to make yourself not so lonesome, like getting out of the house, doing some things. And you know me, you know how I feel about the library. Me and the library are one. I love the library, and I know there's some advantages and disadvantages of being in the library too, because sometimes you want stuff that you gotta wait for. Sometimes if you're there and you want to get on the computer, it may be filled up, and then there's some people that comes in there that are homeless who haven't had the opportunity to take baths and things, and that is the most unpleasant times for me. But um, still, all in all, for the most, libraries are wonderful places to be. Um, I see way more good in it than I do fault in it. Uh, so I said we've covered in the beginning wondering about their habits, knowing yourself always is, that's what is very important, to know yourself, being deeply honest with yourself. That helps you to be careful about the kind of relationships that you get into, because if you take your time and you say, well, I just want some company or whatever, and then you waste all that. Well, not it's not always a waste of time, I won't say that, but you may have spent that time that could have been more advantageous in another area than with someone who does not meet the things that have the criteria that you're uh, wanted, or they're looking for. So now, another things are, and I know I may have mentioned it before in some other videos and stuff. The things that you all like doing, do they like doing anything that you like doing, or do they just do it to satisfy you? Well, either way, I guess it's okay if they if that's something that you don't mind, but you got to know. You got to kind of think about that, their appearances, their cleanliness and neatness, and the habits and behaviors they have. And like, sometimes do they are they mindful the times you need to rest? Are you mindful the times they need to rest and relax, and know how to make them comfortable? Are you mindful the times that they need to be alone and want to be alone? And then not being, one of the most aggravating things in any relationship is nags. Some people have always thought that's just women that nags, because there's scripture in the Bible that says it's better to be on a rooftop than live in a house with a nagging woman. But let me tell you something, that goes for a nagging man too. I've met a few nagging men. Oh, nagging is something that you should cross off on your list, because nagging can be so frustrating. And you say, well, what do you mean when you say nagging? I mean, well, you did so and so, and and I asked you, and oh, don't that sounds horrible? Just makes me want to cry, crawl up under a little hole, hide in a rock, do whatever in a cave. You know what I'm saying? So nagging is something that we want to avoid in ourselves and in others. It's not nice. Now, there's something that I think is very wonderful. It took me a long time to understand this, that your mate, whether female or male, should have their own little old place that they can go to where there's no bother, where they can have rest and peace a few hours or an hour a day if they so choose, And one of the things that I have to help you to understand is this. If you have someone who is a people person, you got different kinds of people, individuals, okay? There are some persons that are promiscuous, are common with others so much that it's almost unbearable to accept. If they're common, and commonality is a really, really, it's a situation where they're personable with everyone. You know what I'm saying? And I mean like very privately personal. There are boundaries in how you communicate with others. And professionalism does not allow boundary breaking. You know what I'm saying? So you can be professional with most all the people that you meet and not break your boundaries. They know who you are. They know how to respect you. And they know not to go past your boundaries, because that is not nice. That is not nice at all. That if everybody that you talk to have no respect for you and they flirt with you, that makes you look like a person who is very undesirable. Um, but being nice to people, friendly and respectful is another story. Oh, there's going to be some things that's going to be kind of complicated in those relationships if you desire, I don't know, I don't even know how to say it, but sometimes you desire for people to be loving and kind to you, and they may be after one thing. Now, if they're after sexual pleasures and sexual gratifications, if they're being nice to you and you just want to be nice as a Christian brother or sister, there may be some conflict there somewhere. Some conflicts may arise because people who are after whatever they want and that's all, you can't even depend on them for information or direction hardly, because they thinking, well, you're not going to be my woman or be my man. I'm not going to waste no time. That's not nice. That's not nice, people. That is not nice. Everybody don't want you. Excuse me. I'm starting to be a nag, aren't I? And I just told you people don't even like nags. But that's not nice. Let's don't do that. Let's not be that way. And we don't have to give those people who are not a person for us all of our time and all of that and everything. I just got this darn allergy. I'm getting tired of it. I'm going to have to rebuke it. But anyways, those are some of my little takes on, let me put my glasses on because I don't even know how long I've been on here, and I know that's important to know. Okay, it's 25 minutes. We're good. Real good. They shut me down after 30 minutes or so, I think, because my little phone won't let me go past it. I think I've got to do better one of these days. But, anyways, so there's one or two, three other things I need to talk about. And maybe that is like financial status too. Like if you're talking to someone, a male or female, who has doesn't have means of security, means of stabilizing themselves to uh, take care of themselves. I don't know the way to say it. I have to be honest with you, and they are just looking for a home, just looking for a home, just looking for a home. But that may be a problem in developing a new relationship. Just looking for a home. Excuse me. But I guess I'm getting back to my whole self who laughs and stuff all the time. And I wish I wouldn't laugh so hard about what I say. But also, I'd like to take this time to say that one of my favorite comedians has been gone for a while now, and I think about him quite often, and that's Paul Mooney. Some of you all don't know him, but I really loved Paul Mooney because Paul Mooney was really honest and sincere. Sometimes he went a little overboard, but he was always funny to me. I mean, one time I was listening to him, and he used a little profanity and stuff too, but he was hilarious to me. Okay, and all the other comedians too. I love you. I love you all, and you're wonderful. You know, and but anyways, back to my main topic. Uh, I also said that I was just talking about their financial status and stuff, and like yeah, some people may not have exactly what they need, but if they are honest and they are living a good life as best they know how, I think we should honor and respect those, in a relationship. If like I say, you got to know something about what you want in the relationship, and like some of the let me see. I wanted to say something else about. Oh yes, sometimes you run across some people at your workplaces. Now, sometimes that can work out pretty good if you're meeting someone at your workplace, and that is you want to develop that relationship. You get to see them, a little, but a lot of people don't really think that's a good relationship because, like I said, sometimes people in relationships they demand too much attention. Sometimes they don't give much attention. So those are things you got to know and understand too. Because if they're so busy with everybody else and they don't have any time for you and they don't want to be bothered all the time and they're not talking the right kind of talk to you, that's a sign they're not interested. They just want one thing, whatever that one thing is, whether it be money, whether it be sex, whether it be a new piece of jewelry or a new car or, a down payment on something, whatever it is, there should be normal communication. That communication should not be overpulled and it should not be liking. So I just thought I'd share that. And maybe I'm being a little too honest here today, but I'm sorry. That's me. I'll do better. I'm going to practice. I pray. And I also have great counselors that I listen to who gives me pointers. And I'm sorry, ladies, I love you with all my heart. But I already know what women do, and I know what some men do. I'm listening what the men say about women, what they like about women and stuff like that, what they're looking for. Sorry, I don't do a lot of fingernail stuff because I try to play the piano sometimes and guitar as well, but I don't have my guitar right now. Um, so my fingernails don't, all of that girly stuff like that probably wouldn't work for me, but I am old woman. Love me some black men, okay? But I love all people. There are other colors and stuff that is great, but I'm black, pro black. Love you all. Love everybody. Good looking men's all over the world, all places, all kinds of them. Love you too. But love me some black men, okay? So don't get mad at me. I love you too. I love you. I love you and I love you. I love all. But that's my choice, okay? You have your choices. I respect them. So maybe that was unnecessary, but I thought I wanted to say it anyway. So in the relationships, let's see here. What else I gotta say? What else I need to tell you before I get off of here? Uh, Before I do, I want to say thank you if you stayed with me through this whole video. I appreciate you. I like your thumbs up. I like your shares and all of those good things. There and the subscribers, you are awesome. Cora, you know I love you. Thank you for being there with me through all of this. You are my lady. You are my lady. Cora Martin. I love you. Um, let's see, and everyone else who've been with me, my relatives and friends, and those who I have not met so much and know so well, thank you too. I really do appreciate you. I really do. And I certainly hope I'm helpful. And that's all I mean to be. So I don't think I'm going to say much more, but I do know this, that if you do one thing and they do another thing, desperation should not bring us at the doorsteps of mercy of a person who is so different from you. You know what I'm saying? And if you do not love someone and you're just lonesome and you settle for them for a mate, or if you are someone who does not have finances and you settle for them for a mate, you will be probably disappointed later. I'm just trying to help, like any mother, auntie, grandma would do. That's all. I'm just trying to be helpful, So I hope this has been some help to you. There's so many more things about relationships that I could say, but I have some things I want to get done today, and I'll think and pray over my stuff more so I can give you a little bit more specifics, because sometimes when we're talking in generality, people are like, well, I don't know what they mean, and I'm not sure if I quite understood what was said. But with all of that, I'm going to say it's going to be a lovely day, and I want to encourage you. If you have trouble, don't worry, be happy. As Bobby McFarlane would say, if you worry, if you have trouble, you worry, make it double, okay? And with that, the sun is shining outside.